sometimes someone says I'm going to do it. I'll say I'm going to do it. It's okay. Okay, we are going to begin the service, the official part of the service, which is when you start recording. And I'm going to start the service with the ringing of the calling bell, the Kansho. We will ring the bell, hit the bell 7 times, a shalloando, di shalloando 5 times, a shalloando, di shalloando 3 times. I'm of the opinion nobody knows why the numbers. We just do it that way. You might have explanations later. Not long enough, it's normal. No.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to today's Sunday service. My name is Jeannie Toshima, and today's service is being officiated by Sensei Reverend Gregory Gibbs. And our organist is Howard Hayes, who is the pinch hitter for 2 weeks in a row now. Videographer Alan Goto, with assistance from Bobby Fukumoto. And the words, they are both helping to live stream today. Today's sutras and gathas will be shown on the TV. Thank you for attending today's service. So at this point, I'd like to welcome some people we haven't seen in a while and start the service with you. Please rise so I can read an opening meditation. It's called Listen. Listen. Listen to the voice of the Dharma. Listen to the birds singing in the morning, the wind sighing in the boughs overhead, and the roar of the waves on the beach. Listen to the rain on the roof and the snow falling in the fields. The Dharma speaks to us through the sounds of the world, forcefully and eloquently and beautifully. It speaks of the unending change around us, the immutable truth of interdependence, and the peace in nature. Do we have the ears to hear and listen? Listen to the Nembutsu and the Hondo. Listen to the noble silence of the Buddha. From the Heart of the Buddha Dharma by Reverend Kenryu Tsuji. Namo Amida Butsu.
No.
Namo Amida Butsu.
No.
Namo Amida Butsu.
No.
Thank you. Please be seated. So next we'll have the Sutra chanting, and today we will be chanting Juseige, which is located on page 38, but it will also be on the screen behind Howard. So if you would please open your books to either page 38 or watch the screen as the Sutra chant words come by.
Busetsu, Daimuryo, Jukyo, Juseige, Gagoncho, Thegan, Hishimu, Jodo, Shigan, Humandoku, Theifudyo, Shogak, Gao Muryoko, Uidai Seishu, Utai Sho Bingu, Seifudyo Shogak, Gashijo Butendo, Myosho Tyo Jippo, Kukyo Mi Shomon, Seifudyo Shogak, Ryokujin Shonen, Joeshu Bongyo, Shigumu Jodo, Isho Tenin-shi, Jinariki and Daiko, Ushomu Taido, Shodyo-san Kumyo, Kotai Shu Yakunan, Kaihichi Eigen, Neshi Kon Moan, Sokusho Akudo, Udatten Shumon, Kosojo Mandoku, Iolo Jippo, Nichigatten Shujuki, Tenko Onbugen, Ishu Kai Hodo, Kose Kudokuho, Jo Dai Shuchu, Sappo Shishiku, Kuyo Ithaya Button, Gu Sokushu Tokuhon, Ganesh Yoman, Tokui Sangayo, Nyobutn Mugechi, Tudatn Mi Husho, Gangaku Eriki, Toshi Sai Shoson, Shiganya Koka, Daisen no Kondo, Koku Sho Tenina, Tochin Myoke, Namandabu, 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 Namandabu. Gani shikudoku, Byodo sei iesai, Don modai, Shin Onjo, Koku. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Butsu. Namo Butsu. Namo Butsu.
Next, if you'll join us to sing Gatha, Texture of Life, which is found on page 157 or on our screen behind us. So we'll please rise and we can all sing together.
The six Paramitas, the devotional reading, the reflective reading for today, is the six Paramitas, and those who have the Orange County book, it's page 11. I think it's page 10 on the little black book. Very short one, very deep. The virtues we hope to cultivate, the six Paramitas. Dana, giving. May I be generous and helpful. Shila, guidance. May I be guided by the Buddhist precepts. Kshanti, tolerance. May I regard the mistakes of others with sympathy. Virya, perseverance. May I do my best in all things. Dhyana, meditation. May I reflect deeply on my life through the Buddha's teachings. Prajna, insight. May I understand the meaning of Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Well, good morning, and thank you for participating in this service. We want to thank Howard Hayes for playing organist, being our organist today, playing the organ for us, and I want to thank at the outset Marco Une, Bobby Fukumoto, and Alan Goto, and Kathy Kumagai, all of who in one way or another are assisting our tech support here. 4 on tech support, Marco Une, Alan Goto, Bobby Fukumoto, and Kathy Kumagai. I want to thank Kyoko Gibbs for doing the flowers, which are especially nice today. And thank Jeannie Toshima for being the chairperson. Now, they are not responsible for the content of this message. Who is responsible for the content of this message? Well, I am, of course, like the politicians say, I am responsible for this message. But all those influences that have been borne upon me for 72 years are also, in part, responsible for the content of this Dharma message. Our influences, our personal histories, can be important in that they help us to identify what the critical issues are. Buddhism provides resources to address hundreds of issues. The Buddha Dharma draws our attention to dozens of issues. Discrimination most especially. How important is discrimination, opposing, countering, and preventing further discrimination? How important is it to you? Now, we are on the internet now. Our services, these talks are being placed on YouTube for an indefinite period of time. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you live in Kansas and you're Caucasian, probably racial prejudice is not one of your 5 major concerns. You know, you're concerned about others perhaps, but you're probably not the object of much prejudice if you're a Caucasian person living in Kansas. Not like those of us living in Southern California. We are concerned here with all kinds of prejudice, particularly racial prejudice, which seems to have increased greatly in the last several years. Bullying is something that is often done for reasons of racial discrimination. Discrimination is destructive. Racial discrimination is crazy. We're all the same species of apes, Homo sapiens. We all come from the same ancestor in Africa. Yet many of us have, in one context or another, at one time or another in our lives, undergone bullying. I was bullied from 3rd to 8th grade in grammar school for being Irish American. There were other reasons I wasn't real popular, like my lack of tremendous athletic ability. But the truth is, I would not, at the school that I was at in the 1950s, I would not have been bullied if I were Italian American. They were the dominant group in our school. So I was bullied at school for being Irish. And then I came home to my neighborhood where I was bullied for being Catholic. I've talked about that before. I'll talk about it with you privately if you've never heard me talk about that. There is not any quality we might have, no matter how neutral or apparently innocuous, that there isn't somebody out there who's going to be prejudiced against us because of it. I'm a Dodgers fan. They lost last night. My friends from San Francisco sometimes don't like that I'm a Dodgers fan. It's hardly something to be prejudiced against someone for. Now, we do here at the Pasadena Buddhist Temple have our Black Lives Matter sign, and the Black Lives Matter sign has been up at both of our entrances for about a year. Also, we have our LGBTQ support flag that's been flying at both of our entrances for going on a year. If future generations, tens of thousands of years from now, or aliens unearth remnants of our culture many thousands of years from now, I'm sure they will be puzzled by the discrimination they will find against lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and non-binary persons. I'm sure they'll go, what? What was going on here? Why would anyone be prejudiced about that? Prejudicial treatment makes the victim feel less whole. It tries to make us feel ashamed about parts of ourselves, aspects of whom we are and what we are. All prejudice is irrational. Prejudice means that you've made a barrier ahead of time. You made a decision ahead of time, a prejudgment, prejudice. Prejudgment, prejudice, the same thing. You're not thinking, you're not looking if you're prejudiced. Now, the opposite of prejudice is inclusion. The people excluding us are people who feel especially entitled. We need to feel included. We need to feel whole. We need to feel part of the whole. All of us need this, and we deserve this much. But none of us is entitled to feel special, better than others. We all need wholeness. We all need acceptance. We need all aspects of ourselves to be included and valued positively. We all need acceptance, and we're only going to feel fully accepted if we accept all others completely. We must, again, accept all as worthy to live. We must accept all living beings, not as perfect and unneeding of change. We must accept all people we encounter, not as perfect, as unneeding to change, but as worthy to live. Along with accepting other people and forms of life as worthy, we need to find life itself to be worthy, valuable, worth our being grateful for. These ideas that you accept others completely so that you can accept yourself, that we need to appreciate life and live with thankfulness, these ideas are part of the universal storehouse of human wisdom. They're not exclusively Buddhist ideas. Buddhism is about life. Buddhist tradition is directed toward awakening to reality. Our most important values, our most crucial perspectives, are not exclusively Buddhist. As it says in the Prajna Paramita literature, the teachings that are special to the Buddha are not the Buddha's special teachings. Not to bully or be bullied, that's a human value that we should all embrace. The need to feel included and accepted by others, to feel whole. These are not restricted to one religious perspective. The need to feel part of the whole. These are aspirations that Buddhists share with many who do not yet consider themselves to be Buddhist. People don't have to be Buddhist themselves to share our most cherished values. Buddhists and other people who reflect carefully on life know that goodness is flowing into their lives. Reflective persons of various religions and political and philosophical orientations learn to live lives of gratitude. To actually live life thankfully, we must firstly not feel entitled, not feel like we deserve all this, and secondly, we've got to notice the ways in which life is good, the ways in which we are being benefited. Why do we have such a nice temple here in Pasadena? We're just talking about making it more wheelchair accessible. Johnny Collins just started helping us this week to do this, and we're realizing we may need to take out one or two pews. We'll do what we need to do. But it's such a nice temple, it's such a big temple, we could do that. We can take out a pew and still seat, 375 people or something like that. So hey, why do we have such a nice temple? Well, because of those who came before us and worked so hard. Why do I have this great job getting paid to do what I love to do? Why do I have such a pretty young wife and two sons whom I'm very proud of? I don't take all of this for granted. I could lose it all in the blink of an eye. One of my colleagues passed away yesterday, Reverend Ken O'Neill. He was several years older than I am, but no more than 5 older than I am. And many of you may not have known him. He served at the San Jose Temple in the 1970s. And starting earlier than I did, he, like Reverend Rosenthal, before Reverend Rosenthal came to this temple, he and Reverend Rosenthal both endured prejudice that I did not have to endure. When he was at the San Jose Temple as an ordained minister in the 1970s, one of the members from San Jose came up to Ken O'Neill and said, "This is our social club. You don't belong, and we don't want you." Now, nobody's ever talked to me like that, but that's what the Trailblazers had to put up with. Reverend Ken O'Neill went on to have a good and fulfilling life as a fitness expert, as a Buddhist scholar and a priest. 8 months ago, he was the healthiest person I knew. He's this fit guy. 8 months ago, he was the healthiest guy I know. Then he had a heart attack. He recovered like 97% from the heart attack. He's doing fine for about 2 months, and then he gets one of those virulent cancers, and another 4 months down the road, and he's dead. He died early yesterday morning. I do not take my own healthy life and my meaningful career and my beautiful family for granted. The point here is, again, that we must appreciate our lives and live happily whenever possible, gratefully in any case. How many wonderful benefits do we have in our lives that we just take for granted? Let's not take them for granted. Let's try to appreciate this life and the many fulfillments it brings us and the deep oneness which lies behind all things. Let us live in this world where we accept others as they are. Let us live in this great oneness where one thing flows into another and cannot be separated. Shall we live with appreciation and gratitude? May we, in the closing of the Dharma Message portion of the service, express our gratitude by saying the Buddha's name a few times. Those who wish to, please join me, probably about 2 minutes of Nembutsu recitation. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Dabutsu, Namo Dabutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Dabutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Dabutsu, Namo Dabutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Dabutsu, Namo Dabutsu. Well, thank you very much. This concludes the Dharma Message portion of the service. And I'm going to turn the mic over to Jeannie again, and I think we're going to have some announcements today.
I get to do a reading too. But Sensei, thank you very much for that wonderful message. And we are lucky to have a wonderful message every week from Sensei. But again, today, sorry for the loss of your good friend and colleague. And again, thank you for reminding us to be grateful and appreciative of everything we do have. Last night, some of us got together because we know, we all turned 70 last year. Yeah, and so we had a good time, and then you realize that we're all grateful to even just be able to get together and talk to each other, because we've lost a lot of friends too along the ways.
I thought that I learned with Reverend Ken is if you, even as a minister, when you become ill, I send him a motoshikisho like you're wearing, because you can't wear these big things in bed.
Oh.
So yeah, and he really appreciated it, because he wanted to be able to chant the sutra laying in bed, but with a big wage he couldn't do it, so I sent him what's usually a layperson's wage system. I sent a couple of those.
Well, that's really nice. Thank you, Sensei. And thank you, everybody, for listening so intently. If you'd please rise, I have selected a closing meditation for today. In the beginningless, endless flow of time, each life is a mere ripple, existing only for an instantaneous moment and disappearing forever. But each life is a unique experience with beauty and truth all of its own, with no identical counterpart in history, and none absolutely the same in the future. Your life, my life, is attuned to the rhythm of the cosmos and to the heartbeat of reality. Each life exists in the eternal now. By Reverend Suji. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you, and if you please be seated. So for announcements, I'm going to get started with today. We have a Nokotsudo dedication that will be occurring after the service is done.
Directly after service.
Directly after service. And at this time, I'd like to thank Johnny Kamon and Shelly Shinmoto for all their hard work to complete this project. There's a lot of projects we think about, but really never get off the ground. And this one we got done pretty quick. They got done pretty quickly. And I don't know if you could see it with the camera, but Johnny came and actually installed this handicap ramp, so it will help families that come to visit their loved ones that are inurned in the Nokotsudo to be able to visit without having to worry about any stairs. Oh, we have a bar on the outside. Oh, yes. So now we can make sure our senseis are safe too when they go up and down. Yes. So thank you, Johnny, for all your hard work, and Shelley for all of your planning and research. We now have a Nokotsudo and ramp, and if you have a chance, Mitsuko provided wonderful piece of art that we'll have a picture of in the newsletter so that those of you that can't come will be able to view. So next week is Halloween, and so if you have children, grandchildren, neighbors, and you'd like to have we're not having a Halloween party here because of the COVID and young people not getting vaccinated. So if you'd like to, please let Sensei or Kyoko know, and then we'll have a goodie bag pickup from, I think, 11 o'clock. Is that right, Kyoko? From about 11 o'clock. So next week, we have Halloween goodies, but unfortunately not a Halloween party. The other thing is there is a BWA meeting next week at 8:30 a.m. It will be held via Zoom, or if you'd like to come here at 8:30, we'll see you here. And lastly, if you would like to make an offer, your osai sen or dana donation, there is a donation box on the way out. And if you are viewing online, there's a button that you can make a donation to, and we would appreciate any donations you can make. The last announcement would be our Chow Man dinner is coming up in November, and I believe the last date we're taking orders is the 31st or the 30th, next weekend. So please, if you would like to support our temple and at the same time enjoy our wonderful pan-fried chow mein noodle beef goo dinner, please put your orders in now. Okay? Anything else?
I'll say just a couple words. So yeah, thank you, Jeannie. I'll turn the mic back over to you in just a minute here. Just want to say we'll take about a 5-minute break before the Nokotsudo dedication, and anybody who wants to walk back here is welcome to participate. I'm just going to chant two pieces, the Sambujo, which is inviting all positive influences, and the Shishinrai, which is relying on Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and burn incense, and that'll be it. I would, while we're back there, I'll ask Johnny to say a few words. We're very pleased by the work that Johnny Coleman has done for us. This ramp went in like 2 days. He did the whole thing, and we look at it and say, gee, what about the handicapped people? And he and his crew got that in there in about 2 days' time. It's a beautiful, beautiful columbarium, and as I say, when my time comes, I want to be in there, and I want to have a sign that says, every day above ground is a good day. So we'll be having that ceremony about 5 minutes following the closing of service, which will be coming very shortly. And I'm going to turn the mic back over to our chairperson, Jeannie Toshima.
No more announcements, but I just want to remind you, if you did not get a chance to offer incense as you came in, please offer incense at the end. So thank you for attending today, and thank you, Sensei, for a wonderful service. And Craig Boatman, good to see you, sir. Welcome back.
No one has been here yet, but of the 10 of us. So we're sure glad to have you back.
Good to be back. I never left.
Well, we don't know who's all watching us on the internet, too.
You did a nice job. Thank you.
Well, if Howard's here next week, we'll be in good shape then. If not, we'll fake it.
I didn't know all those announcements were behind me. Oh, this is the one that I played with you.
Thank you.
Okay.